Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk a bit about phone addiction and particularly the addiction to always having something in the background. And this is something I've struggled with for a really long time because when I was born, we already had iPads and phones and computers. So for a big part of my life, I've was on YouTube or even had access to Netflix. So early on, I discovered that, or I believe that, if you have something in the background, it makes me like focus better. What I didn't really realize at the time, and I'm realizing more and more every day, is that it doesn't necessarily make you focus better, it just calms down the part of your brain that is seeking that stimuli. And so the difficult part is overcoming that and telling your brain to shut up, or at least that side of your brain. Because the issue with scrolling is that it comes the addiction of it comes from a part of your brain that is constantly seeking to finish unfinished tasks. And so the more you scroll, the more you feel like you are simultaneously finishing this task while also opening another unfinished one. So that's what keeps you scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And I was able to get off of TikTok a few years ago and Reels like over this past year because it was just a replacement addiction. And it really is like a real addiction. Like, it will have you acting literally like a crackhead, because even when I got on YouTube after I deleted both of those apps, I would go to YouTube Shorts, and I always dogged on YouTube Shorts. I was like, this is so stupid. But, again, you want to fulfill that side of your brain. And even when I told myself no to YouTube Shorts, then I would just literally scroll through the YouTube page, not even clicking on videos, just looking at titles, because, again, it's trying to satisfy that part of your brain that needs to finish a task. Now, I will say, there are times where I feel like I do work better with a certain type of music that's like calming in the background, or without any like lyrics or anything like that. And I think that that's like a normal thing. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I grew up in kind of a loud household. I got used to working with people just always screaming in the background, and that just feels kind of like comforting. But the issue comes with the act of decision making itself, right? There's a difference between just playing shuffle on a playlist, moving on and doing your work for hours, than every like 10 minutes or so going back in to choose something else to watch or something new to watch. And I think that at the end of the day, it does decrease to a level your brain function, like, because it doesn't necessarily, like, watching things with greater stimuli, not counting like classical music or music without sound or whatever, because that can actually help you focus, right? The like just watching a video or show in the background, that your brain is like processing too many things at once. It's processing the show, it's processing what you're doing, and you can't expect your brain to be 100% on a task while you're asking for it to also pay attention to something else. And so I feel like that is something that I'm trying really hard to work on, because I do love YouTube and I love watching stuff. And I have to tell myself, like, after I do my work for like 30 minutes straight, or like whatever the amount is, then I'll give myself a reward of watching something. But another issue comes because the reward now kind of stops your flow. So another thing that I'm trying to work on is to have the reward be something else, like going on a walk or literally just doing nothing. That is the best way to like relax or unwind, is to physically do nothing. To don't watch anything, you don't even have to walk around, just sit and do nothing. Let your brain be quiet, because that is what really helps your brain reset, and in order to go back to the task without a problem. And I feel like the idea of doing nothing also makes your brain seek that reward more through the task that you're doing, because that is an incomplete task and it still fulfills that side of your brain that wants to scroll. And the also harder part of being an addict is that your brain wants to do these things, right? Like your brain wants to attain these tasks. And I often find that as I'm doing them and I get in the zone, I'm genuinely enjoying it. And it's like without even like me controlling my body, just goes in and plays something. And it's like I don't even want to do it, but it's like that's the addiction part of your brain. It just has to do it. And that is the way to go around that, or that I've been trying to go around that, is to add friction to it. So a lot of the times people have like a blocker or something in the screen that pops up, and I mean, you know, those don't really always work because like you just click out of it. But I feel like in order for anything to work, you have to really want it, right? And if you really want to beat that addiction and beat that part of your brain, those reminders will be more helpful to you than if you just put them on without really caring about it. And so those are the main things that I've been trying to do to avoid those things. I've also been changing my YouTube algorithm in a way. It's less video essays and things like that, and more music videos and things that I feel like used to be more like old YouTube, like shorter videos. So now if like I do want to watch like a YouTube video that calls my attention, it's generally like shorter, and so I don't spend that much time watching it and then I move on. And another part of it is, if you are telling your brain like, oh, I want to watch something, try to genuinely think about what you want to watch before you even click on the app, because that will save you so much time of just scrolling and waiting for something to call to you, because nothing's going to call to you. You're just going to keep scrolling. So like I found myself doing this yesterday because I was trying to pick a movie to watch, and I immediately went on the app to watch a movie. And I saw a movie that I did want to watch, but I just kept scrolling to see if there was something better. And it's like, what's the point? There never will be anything better. Just watch what you want to watch in the moment. Or if I had thought ahead of time, I want to watch this movie, and immediately went to look for it, I would have saved myself so much more time. So that's another thing that I've been trying to do. And yeah, hopefully this will help you think more as well about what you can do to beat this problem. Not that everyone has this problem, but I believe everyone deep down does have this problem, and I do believe that it is a problem. It's slowing down our brains, it's making us work differently, and I think we need to be better. So hopefully you will be better. Thank you.